Hi, my name is Rachel Doran, and I am the Connect Coordinator for Cascade County. I'm putting together this recording today just to do a little overview of the system. So I'll start out with a presentation and then do a quick demo in our demo system. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started. So first to start, we'll just go through a quick presentation of Connect. Really what Connect is a secure web-based platform with the goal of creating the most comprehensive local, regional, and statewide referral network as possible. Something that's really nice about this is obviously it's not something that you have to download to your computer. It just is something that you can open up in your web browser and have ready to go. Something else that's really nice about Connect, especially in Montana, is referrals can be sent from your client's home community to anywhere in the state with referrals back to their home community for support services. So this is especially important. We see a lot of times in Cascade County that we are a large source for communities like Havre, Cutbank, Shelby, who maybe don't have the different resources that we do have. So we see a lot of patients who do come in from those areas, and that gives us the availability to not only receive referrals from those areas, but then also refer them back out. And this is important too, because a lot of times we see people will travel statewide, or people are moving to different areas across the state. So you are able to really get a very comprehensive medical record or service record for these people. The main purpose of Connect is closing the loop. So what we want to do is create a bi-directional flow of information, allowing provider to provide referrals to be tracked in real time with status updates and progress notes along the way. And a big part of Connect is, why is that closing of the loop so important? And really what it does, it's going to produce less waste. So we're not going to have as many duplications of services. We're not going to see unnecessary referrals. We're not going to see failed transactions to and from facilities. We're going to have fewer problems. So less delays in service, less lapses in care, less diminished health outcomes, as well as happier clients and staff on both sides. So we're going to see reduced frustration from both parties, as well as easily tracking clients, which makes it more rewarding for staff, so that it's not something you just, okay, well, I've sent off this person to this agency, did they ever get in contact with them? With this system, you'll be able to really see those notes in real time and see what's happening. The purpose of Connect is obviously to foster a collaborative culture among service providers in Montana. This strategic referral tracking via Connect really is aiming to improve the referral process in communities by firstly establishing accountability and improving that process for the exchange of information for clients. And here's just a little background, a little history on Connect. So Connect was actually started in 2009 in Helena, in their school district. And something that they were seeing was they were sitting about a 12 or 13% referral completion rate in Helena. And that was really frustrating for them. So in 2010, the Helena Consented Referral System was created. In 2014, that system was taken over by Noble, who houses the system today, and expanded out to all types of service providers. In 2017, it was expanded a little bit further out from Helena, and then in 2018, it became available all across Montana. But what was really nice about that is the state did pick it up, and it became free for everyone to use. So something that's really cool about this is Helena now sits at a 75% connection of client to service rate, which really means that 75% of every 100 people referred to a service actually start that service they were referred to, which is a huge increase from that 12 to 13% they were originally seeing about 11 years ago. So they have been using the system for years, but obviously with the expansion out to all the different regions here in Montana, this is something that we could see picking up quite quickly. Just some basics of Connect. So to start out with, like I've said previously, Connect is a secure web-based system, which means that you don't have to download anything to your computer. You can open up your web browser, and you are easily able to send, receive, and track referrals from that. Connect has a shared MOU and ROI which is housed in the system. So there's a memorandum of understanding that agencies sign, as well as a release of information that clients sign. Something that's really cool about this is that clients actually can get a text message to their phone about this ROI piece, which is something I will show you when we get to the demo of the system, but it's handy to have that as a record for them on their phones. Obviously, we want to promote that coordinated care, encouraging care among multiple agencies, working with multiple clients. We know that a lot of times these agencies are seeing the same clients, and so having a more consistent way to track these, easier way to get that information, makes everyone's life easier. And then also we have an immense amount of referral data. So this is going to really help improve delivery systems across the board, whether it's tracking who's sending you referrals, who you're receiving for, who is sending you referrals, or how long it's actually taking you to service these different clients, which is pretty amazing. So a little bit more about Connect. It's not meant to be a case management system or an EMR. It's not totally meant to replace human interaction, but it definitely is not time consuming and it's not complicated. Once I do that demo of the system, you're going to see how really seamless it is to utilize the Connect system. So Connect is FERPA, HIPAA, 42 CFR, and IDEA compliant. It is a statewide tool, and it's accessible by any type of service provider. It's also scalable, which means that your big hospitals can use it as well as a single service provider. And I think maybe the best part about it is, too, it's available at no cost. So I do always run into a few questions about this, so I do want to briefly touch on this, which is Connect versus 2-on-1. And really the major difference is Connect, the service provider sets up a release of information that the client signs. That service provider in turn then goes ahead and sends the referral on behalf of the client. That referring provider then goes ahead and reaches out to the client and gets them scheduled into their system, and then obviously does any referral update statuses that can be seen in the system. 2-on-1 is more of a resource directory. The client self-refers. They call 2-on-1 to reach the operator and then calls that service provider themselves. A lot of different industries I talk to, some of these different agencies, especially if it's something that's maybe a little bit more private for the client, if it's a drug center, if it's a mental health center, if it's a housing services, maybe those things are a little bit more touchy for those people. It is easier to have that service provider reach out to you, makes them a little bit more comfortable in that as well, so that you can get them scheduled and they're not having to try to make that decision on their own. So again, like I said, Connect really is meant to be inclusive of any type of service provider. This includes youth organizations, wellness groups, mental health providers, school systems, legal services, housing services, medical services, you name it. We really want to get a whole group into the system, obviously to make making referrals as seamless as possible for anyone who needs to make a referral in Cascade County or across the state of Montana. So a little bit about what I do. I obviously do events kind of similar to this, where I really bring people in the community together to talk about Connect, talk about how it could strengthen existing partner relationships, foster new relationships, and streamline that referral process. But one thing that I do, which is really, really cool, is the referral mapping process. So what the referral mapping process aims to do is to identify all partners that do send or receive referrals to you. So I know some of you might have seen me talk about this before. I've already been through the process and are doing this as a refresher. But for those who have not seen this yet, I would love for you to fill out a referral map so that I can go ahead and then reach out to those partners that you do refer most to, that you do receive the most referrals to, and get them onboarded into the system. Obviously, that third piece is getting interested community partners put into the system so that they can utilize Connect and be connected with other different community members who also utilize the system. If you are interested in learning a little bit more, we have a website which is connectmontana.org. We also have a blog, so you can keep up on the latest news, content, anything interesting on that, as well as an email that is you can sign up for to receive updates right to your inbox. And this is just a little bit about me. So again, my name is Rachel Doran. I am the Connect Coordinator for Region 7, which is Cascade County. I work actually out of the City County Health Department. So here's just a little bit of my information, my phone number and my email address. Okay, and with that, we will go ahead and actually get into the Connect system itself. So what you do is you go to connectmontana.org. From here, you can actually do a ton of different things. So you can get into the blog, you can get into Connect in your county. So see all the different providers who are listed in Connect in your county, frequently asked questions, training resources. So if you do need maybe a little refresher course or you have some questions, you can get on here. You can also always contact me. I'm available to obviously do any trainings, anything that you would need on that. Talking about that testimonial statewide expansion, there also is a piece right here where you can do the Connect program sign up. So something I do is I get a lot of paperwork out to people who are interested in being part of the system, but this is just that paperwork is online right there. So if you have other parties, other agencies that you work with who are interested, they can sign up right here, or they can give me a call or any of the Connect coordinators across the state, and we can get them onboarded and help with paperwork, any questions that they might have on that end as well. So with that, we'll go ahead. There is an interactive provider map here. That gives you the opportunity to see who are the different providers in each region, who's utilizing Connect, as well as a map of every single one of the Connect coordinators. So if you forget my name, you can go pop in right here and it will show you there's a little gold star and it will say Rachel Doran and give you all my information. With that, we'll go ahead, we'll scroll down a little bit here, and we'll actually get into the Connect demo site. So when you actually sign on to the Connect system, you actually are going to make a referral. You go to the Connect Live site, but for program purposes here, we will do the Connect demo site. Okay. I didn't look out. Okay, so now I got to log in here. Sorry about that. So what we'll do here is we'll get myself typed in. Okay, so now we're logging into the Connect demo site. What pops up first is select an agency. So kind of depending on how your agency sets themselves up in the Connect system, will depend on what you see here. So I'm the administrator, so I see everyone's stuff, but if your agency has a lot of separate branches that would make sense to be separated in the Connect system, you can do that here. So you can see that Family Child Health for Family Health Services for Cascade County City Health Department is broken into multiple pieces. For the sake of what we're doing today, I'm going to go ahead and pretend like I am Cascade City County Health Department. So with that, you know, a few things that you can do. So if you want to add a client, you have someone new come in, but the first thing you should always do is check and see if someone is in the system. So there I am. You can actually verify by my birth date there. So if there's a John Smith or someone with a very common name, you can kind of validate through that. Another thing you can also do is go ahead and look up by birth date. So you can see the birth date right there, which is really, really nice. So for the sake of this, we will go ahead and let's make sure they're not. Okay, excellent. So we'll go ahead and add a new client. And for today, we will go ahead and we will add Brad Pitt to the system. So let's see here. Looks like Brad Pitt was born December 18th, 1963. '12, 18, 19. Oops, not that far ahead. All right. Connect also has a really, really great feature where we have 6 different genders on there as well, but we'll go ahead and choose male. We have all these different races, but we'll go ahead and choose that. Then they also have the option to choose a tribe or a band or a service member, veteran, or family's identification. So we'll go ahead and say no on that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add in his current address. So 900. Okay. We add in Great Falls, Montana. Something that's really, really important when you do fill out a client in the system is to make sure that you choose their county. So Connect, when you actually go to add in a client in this into a referral or send out a referral, Connect will automatically sort by county for you. So if you do want to go ahead, let's say you're in a smaller county or you are sending someone to a smaller county, you can also choose that service as well, but make sure that that county's in there. We'll go ahead, 59401. We'll go ahead, add his phone number in there. And is it okay to contact him by mail? So we'll just say yes. We'll go ahead and add the client. And with that, our first client is added. So something we can do here, let's say Brad moved, something like that. You can go ahead, you can edit that profile and change his address that way, or I've gotten his name wrong, or his, anything like that. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll click referrals. So with the referral, the first thing we have to do is obviously do a release of information. We will start a new ROI for Brad Pitt. So I am at the City County Health Department. Brad has come in, and kind of like I said right here, it already chooses and it already filters out by cascade for him here. Another thing that's really nice that the system does is you can actually choose by insurance type. So if he has Blue Cross Blue Shield, Assurant Health, you can choose by that. Or you can choose by services. And something that's really, really nice about this, especially with all the agencies I talk to, is there seems to be a little bit of a frustration because a lot of times agencies tell me, well, people don't know that we do that. So there's a lot of different services that agencies provide that maybe necessarily the community or other service providers don't realize that they do. So being able to go ahead and actually choose the service by scrolling down through this. So there's American Indian Services, Children and Family Services, courts, disability services, adult or education services, faith-based, food, health and medical, housing and shelter, employment and income, insurance and payers, legal services, mental health services, pets, veterinary services, senior aging services, service member for veterans and their families, and substance abuse, transportation, and women's support services. So let's go ahead and say, let's say, Brad comes in and he is needing some children's services. So we can go ahead and actually choose from some of these different different pieces here. But what's really nice about this is you can go ahead and since you've chosen those, this is already going to start filtering out for you. So let's say we've decided that Brad needs to get enrolled at Circle of Security at Alliance for Youth. So what we'll do is we'll push next. And what pulls up here is actually that ROI. So everything's going to already be filled out for you. If Brad is under the age of 18, especially with working with some different kids that, you know, I think a lot of agencies will, you can enter the name of the parent or the guardian right here. So you don't have to call for Brad, you don't have to call for Brad's mom or Brad's dad. You can actually call for the person who is that parent or legal guardian. The next piece of what you're going to see is you're going to see the organizations that Brad is agreeing to obviously release his information. So the first one will be yourself. It will be whatever agency you are. And then that second one will be the agency that you are sending that information to. We'll go ahead and maybe send his education and drug and alcohol record. And then the next thing we can do here, if you wanted to add other information, you can put that here. Then the next piece is how he authorizes it. And this is really, really cool. So obviously he's going to authorize it as himself because he's not the parent, legal guardian, any of those other things. But there are a few ways you can do that. So if he's sitting in office with you, he can actually come up and e-sign. So he can write his own personal code. He can type in his name. He can do any of those things. We also have some agencies who do print off the ROI. They have a lot of other paperwork that they already fill out. So they just go ahead and actually upload the ROI to the system. But something that I talked about a little bit earlier, which is really cool, is actually the signature. So what we have here, you would just go ahead and enter his phone number. I'm just doing mine for the record here. But what happens is I get an text message. And what the text message says is, you are electing to use a digital signature via text message with Montana Connect. This is for Brad P. Reply yes if you wish to proceed. So to sign the Connect ROI for Brad P, read the following code to the person on the phone. So he can go ahead and actually read this out to you. So it's 1466. I'm going to validate that code, and with that, the ROI is complete. So now it's in his records. He actually gets another text that says, thank you, your signature has been recorded. You may receive this information more than once. So now that that's done, we can actually see that these ROIs have been started. If it's green, that means it's not been touched. When it's gray, that means that you've actually activated the ROI here. So what we do now, this will actually just pull up all your information because you were the person sending it. So here I am, Rachel Doran. We're going to go ahead and say I sent it today. Phone number is optional here if you want to put that in. Person being referred is all filled out for you. We'll go ahead and put no. And with that, we can confirm. It actually always double checks with you to make sure that the insurance is there. We'll go ahead and click yes, continue. And with that, your first referral's been sent. So, really making it as easy as possible for you to send and receive referrals. So now we can go ahead and in our sent piece here, we can actually see that Brad Pitt has been sent to Circle of Security. For sake of the demonstration, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pretend to be the receiving end, Circle of Security. And really how this works is we divide up the system into two pieces. So there's the providers and then there's the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers are the people who will initially receive the referrals for the agency. Something that, like at City County Health Department, the gals who are at the front desk for WIC, they are the ones who are the gatekeepers, and then they go ahead and divvy out the referrals to the different WIC agents in City County Health Department. So for sake of this, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pretend to be Circle of Security. Here I am. Okay. So now that I'm Circle of Security, what I can go ahead and do is I can actually see that this has been received by me. What I would do as the gatekeeper, what's really, really nice too, is Connect will send you an email. So it's not something you have to constantly check. It's not something you have to keep looking at. Connect will send you an email and say, Circle of Security, you've received a new referral from City County Health Department. So I can see that this is all here, my available actions now. I can either assign the referral or I can reject it. So let's say it's come in, it's inappropriate, it doesn't make sense, we shouldn't, it shouldn't be coming to the agency. So there's a few ways you can handle it. You can obviously, or they're already enrolled in services. So you can go ahead, if they're already enrolled, if there are any of those types of things, you can go ahead and reject that. If it is someone who comes in and it's not an appropriate referral, but you know exactly who to send them to, you can go ahead and assign that and then go ahead and refer them out to that next service. But what we'll do here is we'll go ahead and assign that referral. So we're going to assign it to me. So hopefully these are a bunch of Rachel Dorans won't get too confusing for you. But I will go ahead and assign myself the referral for Brad Pitt. And now we can actually see that the referral has been assigned. So what's really cool about the system now is now it will send back an email to the referring provider from City County Health Department and let them know that their referral has been assigned to Rachel Doran. So now that I have that availability, I'm going to go ahead and I'm getting all my emails here now for the Connect system. So I'm going to go to the referral status, which is something that as I am the assigned provider, I can only change this. So the referring provider can't change it, the gatekeeper can't change it. I'm the person who has to go in and do this. So has contact been made with the person? Yes, let's say that we're 2 days down the road. So I contacted him on Monday. If no contact was made, you can go ahead and say that. If other, please explain. And then with this, you'll actually see a service date. So let's say we contacted on Monday, we scheduled services for the 30th, And then what we have here is all your statuses. So you can say closed, referred to another program, closed, successful completion, enrolled in services, not completed, not started, other, please explain. So we'll go ahead and say that he is enrolled in services here. You can enter any additional information you want here. If the person was ineligible, you can go ahead and say it was made or declined. And then we talk about the service. So you can actually see, was it good progress, some progress, no progress? So we'll go ahead and say some progress. Notes optional, so if you have anything else that you'd like that referring provider to see, to be updated on, we'll go ahead and do that. And with that, as a person who is the referring or the referred provider, that's all you have to do to kind of keep up and track in the system. So now when you actually go and look at it, you can see it's open and that he is enrolled in services. So the next piece we will go ahead and look at obviously is a few different things that we have some really cool stats that you can see. So you can go to this agency directory here. You can go ahead, you can choose your county and see all the agencies in your county for Great Falls. There are a lot of major hospitals I know across the state that include themselves in every single county. So as Connect coordinators, we've done our best to try and differentiate between agencies. So if it's a Great Falls agency, I usually have Great Falls or Cascade or something identifying on that agency. The next thing that we have here is our reports. So obviously here's that blank ROI. If that's just something you don't want to have them do it online or through the Connect system here, this is something that you can have them print off, sign, and upload to the system if you'd like. Then we have the agency's report, which is very similar to this directory. The agency's report is just a little bit more in depth. So what you'll see here is actually a full description as well as the basically the primary contact, the email, and the phone number. So you have all of that information right here. If you did need to get in contact with an agency that you had sent a referral to or had sent a referral to you. But then we really get into these really cool reports, which are referral delays to agency, referral outcomes, referrals to and from agency. What you see here is referral delays to agency. Go back until when I started. And what you can see on that is actually who the referral was to, who the referral was from, who it was assigned to, the date it was sent, the referral status, if it was rejected, open, closed, sent, any of those things. Obviously the service status, so this was closed with successful completions, and how long it actually took, days to contact and days to service. So we can actually get in and start really seeing, you know, closed, opened, assigned, rejected, who was assigned to, the date it was sent, how long it took them to contact. So then if there are agencies maybe that are taking a really long time to contact your clients, you can reach out to them and see what's going on, you know, if that's not an appropriate referral for them, or, you know, how you can help streamline that process for them as well. So referral outcomes. With the referral outcomes, what we find here, let me make sure I'll go back a little bit further so we have a bunch of ones to look at. So with referral outcomes, what you can see here, it's like it pulls out a little pie graph for you. You can actually see who the referral was to, who the referral was from, who was assigned by, who it was assigned to. Lots of Rachel Dorans right there, I know. And then the date sent, the referral status, the outcome, and the date complete. So you can actually get a really good count of different agencies, what the referral outcomes were of those. Plus you also have your to and from. So this really helps in seeing who is sending you referrals. You can go ahead and actually see who is assigned to, the date sent, the status, the subject, the race, but you can see the race and the age, who the referral was from, who it was to, who was assigned to. If it's something that you want to pull up in a meeting, you can also hide client details. So then that just comes up and the subject ID is right there. As well as seeing referrals to agencies. So now you can see who you really are sending the most referrals out to. You know, if you usually send a lot more referrals, maybe to CPS or to WIC or any of those things, you can kind of see what's lagging and seeing, you know, what you need to improve on in your own agency. But you can go ahead, obviously you can hide that detail here if you'd like as well. but just seeing all the, who the referral was to, who it was from, and all that information about your own agency there as well. So that really is kind of Connect in a nutshell. I do have the availability to actually have you do your own demo. I have a demo login where you can create your own logins and kind of play around with the system as well. So if that's something you'd like to do, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll get you kind of all that information that you need. Again, I'm Rachel Doran. I am the Connect Coordinator for Cascade County. My number is 406-590-0416, and my email is rdoran@cascadecountymt.gov. So if you do have any information, if you'd like to get more information from me, please feel free to reach out. And I appreciate you taking the time to listen to me chat a little bit about Connect today. Thank you.